What up, guys? It's Parker with the Social Anxiety Remedy here. And today, what we're going to be talking about is how to start facing resistance and the things that you've been avoiding to begin living a really great life, even when you have social anxiety. All right, so let's get into it. So as always, guys, if you like this podcast, make sure you subscribe because as you can probably tell, we've been busting out videos lately and you're not going to want to miss any of them. So make sure you subscribe if you like the podcast. And also linked below is our Facebook group for people struggling with social anxiety. It's our support group. So you can join there for free as well. So make sure you do that. But anyways, yesterday, what we were talking about is kind of like that. I got that email where it was saying like, my life is so boring. I don't know what to do. I feel like I can't even get out of bed some days. And it's not that I'm depressed. I have this resistance that I can't face. So today what we're going to be talking about is that resistance and the avoidance behaviors and tendencies that we have when we're struggling with social anxiety. But I want to make it very short because I just want to give you the exact practical tools that you can begin using and have in your arsenal today. Okay. And when you're going throughout your day today, you're going to be able to start thinking about that and you're going to be able to start using them just literally today. Okay. It's going to be super cool. So there's 5 main tools that I really want to talk about today. Okay, so I just want to like read off my list really quick of what I want to even talk about first. So the other day, yesterday, we were talking about how kind of like Hollywood and conditioning in movies and stuff like that has made it seem like we're just waiting for something to happen to us instead of ourselves taking action, right? We're just waiting for the magical prince or like princess or like king or whatever to come and save us and tell us that we're special and to help us. When in really one of the main things that we have to do is recognize that, look, it's out of everybody else's hands. My future, my past, everything that I've done, everything that's happened to me is a result of my own actions. It's a result of me. Everything that I can do, everything that I have done is in my own hands. And once you're able to start recognizing that, it's super powerful and it's super freeing because you realize that there's no outside external force that's just like against you and holding you back. And it's also a really negative mindset to have that we're kind of basically conditioned to grow up and be in that kind of state of just waiting around, of idleness, of apathy, instead of going out and trying to reach and do the things that we want to do. So it's very hard to do the things that we want to do because we've been conditioned in such a way that it's like, oh man, you know what? I don't want to face that resistance. I don't want to feel that thing right there. If I do that thing, it's going to cause me pain, and I don't want to do that. Even if it's something that, you know, if the outcome is something that you've wanted to happen for your life for years, maybe it's something that you want to do, but you just can't because you feel like there's this dark force pulling you back, right? So that's what we're going to be discussing. So I talked about movies, right? I talked about movies in Hollywood and conditioning like that. Well, let's look at it on the flip side on the other end, right? You don't want to watch other people's other people's films, other people's content, stuff like that and feel like you're put into that situation. What you want to begin doing is feeling like you're living your own movie. Okay? You're living your life as a fucking movie yourself, right? And so one of the quotes that like really helped me when I started going out and doing these things and putting myself through like uncomfortable situations to start making myself feel more comfortable is I pretended that I was kind of in a movie. Okay, I pretended that I kind of had like a film crew following me and they were documenting like I had a future self, right? I was doing visualizations and whatnot, and I was visualizing, you know, myself being a success in whatever area that I wanted to be, whether it's like confidence levels, whether it's social skills, speaking to other people clearly, being able to be like a social magnet and be able to talk to a bunch of people, light up a room, help like have people laugh. I want to be somebody who walks into a party, walks into a room and makes the event like 50 times better. Like I want other people to have 50 times more fun, more happiness, amazing experiences because I'm in the room. Okay. And so a lot of people will be like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, I just want it for me. I just want to do cool things for me. I just want everybody to pay attention to me. I just don't want to feel uncomfortable, blah, 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 right? And when you have that mindset, you're in your own head constantly. You're constantly in your own head and you're not able to go out and like just let go, stop overthinking. And when you start placing focus on other people on and letting other people have incredible experiences as well, instead of just being like, oh, why is it happening for me? Yeah, blah, blah, right? It's very powerful and it lets other people know that, hey, this person's here, this person's super sick, like this person isn't paying attention to themselves like everybody else at the stupid event or the stupid party, right? And it leads to other people wanting to actually interact with you, okay? So that's kind of like a different tangent. But what I'm kind of saying is picture yourself and think of yourself and visualize what it is that you want to be, right? Who is it that you want to be in the future, whether that's socially, whether that's being able to move up in your job, right? Maybe you have to communicate better to move up in your job and positions like that. Maybe it's a relationship that you want, right? Visualize that person that you want to be, okay, and then say, okay, this is where this person's going to be at. Now I'm going to have a film crew. Okay, a film crew is basically coming in your past life, and they're going to be recording you, okay, to see how you went through that transition, right? So you already did it. It already happened. Now you're just sending kind of a film crew back in your past to kind of document how it happened and how you became that person. So every single day when I wake up, I think about it like, man, I'm on I think there's like a Matthew McConaughey show. It's like a Ed TV, I think it was called. And so it's like, man, I'm on Ed TV. Everybody can see me. Man, let's get to work. Let's do this thing. Like, let's hold myself accountable, right? So start living your life like a movie in that way has actually really helped me, as cliche as it kind of is. Like you get told that, like, live your life like a movie, right? But it actually has really, really helped me. So that's what I kind of wanted to start off with. I kind of want to start off with these kind of broader things that's a little more difficult to understand and like comprehend at first. And you can take it basically in any direction that you want to take it. And then at the end, the later tools, I'm going to kind of show the practical things that you can begin doing immediately, right? I mean, you can begin doing this immediately as well, right? So that's that one. Another one is, I've talked about this before, when it comes to like becoming a new character, becoming a new authentic person, not being yourself anymore, right? We're always told, just be yourself, blah, 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 blah. One of the things that I've found is kind of like disassociating yourself from your body, okay, and your mind. And what happens is when we have ego, right? When the ego starts to take over, we like to have our own identity. We like to be like, this is me. I am this person. Therefore, I only do these things. I'm only good at these things. I'm bad at these things. And by having an identity like that, it holds you back in so many ways. A lot of the times we end up thinking that we have an identity of social anxiety, which we need to absolutely separate from. Okay, you are not social anxiety. Social anxiety is not you. That's not your identity. You need to detach that. You're just doing social anxiety, right? That's how we need to start going about these things. But like I said, we can detach ourselves, like our unique person, whoever you are. Okay, like instead of it being your body, okay, instead of you being your mind, okay, you are just this other entity that's transformed in here, right? We're spiritual beings living in like a physical form right now. Okay, you are this spiritual being, and when you go out and when you start doing exposure challenges, or when you start talking to people and putting yourself out there, or just with your friends too in your everyday experiences, sometimes I get a bunch of questions. It's like, man, I have some friends, like I have some really good friends, but I'm not able to connect with them. Like you can start doing this in your everyday life. You can start doing this now, okay? And what it is it's associating yourself and putting yourself kind of in the third person in like a video game. Okay, so acting like you're a video game character. So like if you guys have seen Fortnite or something like that, I always use Fortnite, right? There's a person playing a video game. Okay, there's a kid playing a video game. There's the screen. Okay, and there's a character that's running and whatnot. Okay, you can start taking on the feeling and the identity of the person playing the video game. Okay, so it's not like you're not your mind, you're not your body, you're this outside entity, you're this outside force that's looking upon yourself doing all these tasks, and you're basically the puppet master, right? You are the puppet master. You are the one controlling this character through that video game, right? So whatever you do, like it doesn't matter. You're just doing things to grow. You're just doing things to learn. It's not you. So you don't feel that same embarrassment. You don't feel that same judgment, that same constant audience watching you. You're the person back here playing the video game, okay? So that's super, super powerful. If you're watching the YouTube video right now, you can kind of see what I'm doing, and where I'm kind of coming at that vision from. So that's the creating the new character. That's like the video game type of theory that I've always kind of had, because you have to look at it like you're going to wake up in the morning, right? And you're going to be like, man, I don't want to do this thing. Man, I don't want to do this thing. I'm facing resistance to this. Maybe I have to go do a big presentation in a meeting or something, and I don't want to do this. I personally have a couple meditations that I do, but it's being able to identify, look, like this mind, this body, like it's not me. Like these thoughts, it's not me. It's just like this. I kind of like to think of it as like an evil person that's trying to stop me from reaching my goals. I'm this outside person, this video game character. I'm like, nope, that's the evil Parker. I want to become the person that I want to become, right? I want to do the actions that I want to do today. I'm not going to let that evil Parker stand in my way, right? And so I like it because I'm very competitive, and so I'm like, all right, I'm competing against this person constantly, right? So that's a great mindset to start taking on. Okay. Another thing that we've talked about very, very shortly, or just really quickly about, is the 5 second rule. Okay. The 5 second rule is super, super powerful. So whenever we're facing resistance, okay, whenever we're facing resistance of things that we want to do, right? Whether it's like you have to do work shit that you don't want to do, right? Whether it's getting out of bed in the morning, whether it's going to work out, whether it's going to talk to a certain person, whatever it is, like in social environments, we have this thought and we're like, okay, I want to do this. I can do this. I want to do this. But you're going to feel resistance if it's going to cause you pain. If you're struggling with social anxiety right now, you have past experiences, you have core beliefs that are holding you back from becoming the person that you want to be socially, right? And so because you have this thought that you want to do something, memories are going to pop up. They're going to be like, you can't do that because remember last time everybody laughed at you the last time. Remember last time everybody was judging you. Remember last time you didn't know what to say, and then you started freezing up and you start sweating and blushing, and everybody could tell your anxiety, and everyone was judging you, right? So you're going to have these memories that are going to start popping up when you want to do something specifically like social, right? So you're going to face a ton of resistance. Your mind's going to try to protect you. It doesn't want to feel pain. Your mind wants to keep you comfortable, but we have to do uncomfortable things to then become comfortable, okay? And live the life that we want. Like if you just want to, be comfortable all the time, then like fuck it, like lay in your bed all day and do that. But I can promise you, it's not going to make you happy, right? It's not going to make you happy at all. So the 5 second rule is essentially whenever we feel resistance to something like that, whenever we feel resistance to going up to somebody socially, let's just use that as an example. In your mind, you're going to say, I want to do this. And then you have 5 seconds. Okay. It's so quick. You only have 5 seconds to basically decide. And if you don't decide in that 5 seconds to just run and do it, then what happens is it's going to be exponentially harder for you to actually make the decision and take action to do it. Okay. So what Mel Robbins kind of came up with is something called the 5 second rule, where anytime you have any thought of like, I want to do this, you count down in your head, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And on go, you have to take action. Like you have to get up and start moving and going towards that. And if you don't within that 5 seconds, then it's going to be exponentially harder for you to do what you feel resistance to and what you feel pain to and what you feel anxiety about, right? So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. You're putting your body in motion. What do we always talk about? I always talk about how it's easier to act your way into a new way of thinking than to think your way into a new way of acting. It's the CBT triangle. Okay. Your behaviors affect your emotions and your thoughts. It's very easy to change your behaviors by just getting up and moving, right? Like it's energy in motion, really, instead of just changing your thoughts to change your behaviors. And that's what everybody else tells you. You want to change your behaviors to change your thoughts. It's so much easier. It's so much simpler. So when I'm doing the 5 second rule, I'm like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I'm putting myself in motion, right? I still feel a little resistance to it. So what I kind of go through in my head is I say, okay, I'm only going to do this task for 5 minutes, or I'm only going to do this certain thing for 1 minute or a couple seconds or whatever. Okay. I just tell myself that I'm going to do it. And then once I'm actually doing it, once I have my energy in motion, once I'm behaving like this, once I'm acting like this, my thoughts start to change. My emotions begin to change. And I begin to actually like doing what I felt resistance to in the past. Okay. It's very weird how it works, but it is extremely powerful. Okay. Extremely, extremely powerful. So, these are kind of the broader themes that you can start taking on and you can start realizing and doing. What's cool about I think working on social anxiety too is it's things that you don't have to put yourself out of the way from. Like you don't have to stand out and like just do 3 hours of all these like menial tasks that doesn't deal with anything socially, and like that you don't really see a lot of results from. In your everyday life, you face resistance. I can promise you today, just like today, once you wake up in the morning, you're going to face resistance to like 50 to 100 tasks that you want to do. And if you can start consciously working on these things, okay, consciously doing them, then in 30 days from now, you're going to start unconsciously doing it. And you don't even have to think about it, but you're going to start doing it, right? It's unconscious competence, and you're going to start to see a huge difference in your life. Okay. So the very last tool that I want to talk about is basically cold therapy. Okay, and I'm gonna intertwine cold therapy with like Wim Hof. Okay, you guys probably heard me talk about Wim Hof before. If you don't know what it is, it's essentially a certain breathing exercise as well as cold therapy. And I want to I'll probably do a video on YouTube in the future about it. But for now, you guys can just look up Wim Hof on YouTube and see this breathing exercise that literally changes the chemicals in your brain to increase happiness levels. Okay, it's pretty crazy. So I definitely try that out. But right now, what I want to talk about is kind of like the cold therapy and how that relates to social anxiety. Okay, because Wim Hof, what he figured out is he could kind of control a lot of the respiratory systems and whatnot, chemicals and shit like that, and doing the breathing exercises, but also with cold therapy. And that's what I want to talk about today. So it'd be awesome if everybody had like a cold tub, a cold bath to be able to do these cold plunges in, but most people don't, right? It's not possible for most people. So what I always just say is do a cold shower. Okay, doing a cold shower every single day is something that is going to make you a master of facing resistance and things that you don't want to do. Okay, so just think about it. You're in your bathroom, you turn the cold shower on, okay? You can feel it and it kind of like stings on your fingers a little bit, right? And you're just thinking about it. You're like standing in front of your mirror, looking at yourself like, come on, Parker, you can do it. You can do it. Standing in there, and you're going to face the most resistance that you're going to face throughout your entire day. And if you can basically put this resistance in front of you already, okay, you can put the most resistance in front of you to start your day. How do you think the rest of the resistance is going to feel? How do you think resistance to talking to somebody that you like or something like that is going to feel? Okay, it's going to feel like nothing compared to not wanting to get in the shower and have that cold water touch every single part of your naked body. Okay, so doing cold shower, like I have my online programs, something called the Potion. Okay, if you guys are a part of it, if you guys have seen the workshop, you guys know what it's about. Literally inside there, I give my students a cold shower contract where it's like for 30 days I don't want a single like warm drop of water touching your body, right? I want, like, you need to take cold showers. And here's the reason behind it. First, there's a bunch of physical benefits when it comes to like recovery, when it comes to controlling your like health and stuff like that, which is great for the pandemic, right? But also the mental side of it. And the mental side of it is this resistance. So right when you turn the cold water on, you're going to start to have these irrational fears pop up. Okay, these irrational things that are going to be like, you know what? I don't really need to take a shower today. I think I took one yesterday. I can do it tomorrow. Okay, and then that rational thought's going to pop up. Or maybe it's going to be like, you know what? Shit, I haven't done my laundry in a long time. I need to do my laundry. And then you leave the water on, you turn it off, and you go do your laundry, or you go wash the dishes, or you do something that has absolutely nothing to do with it. Or maybe you're going to think, you're gonna start, because I'm gonna have a challenge for you guys to start doing this. Maybe you're gonna be like, that Parker guy, he really doesn't know what he's talking about. He really doesn't know what he's talking about. Like, oh, what if this doesn't work? What if this doesn't work and I just wasted all this pain on this? Oh, no, no, no. Okay, all these irrational things are going to start popping up in your head before you jump in this cold shower. And what's amazing, it's almost an exact parallel to what you feel with social anxiety, with what you feel about going up to groups, with what you feel about surrounding yourself with others, not being able to feel yourself around others, just putting yourself out there, right? Being vulnerable, letting people see your unique self, right? So you have all these resistance to these things socially, but what we're doing is basically artificially putting that into a situation like a cold shower that you can do immediately, that's like literally in your house, that's probably 10 feet away from you right now, that you can start doing to help your social anxiety immensely. You're going to face a little bit of resistance. And the best thing that I can tell you is to do the 5-second rule. Okay, turn on the shower, say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Take action immediately and start doing it. And then you're going to realize that a lot of the resistance that you felt before getting in the shower, a lot of the resistance that you felt before going up and communicating with other people in social events, okay, that resistance is way, way worse than actually doing the damn event itself, than actually taking the cold shower, than actually talking and having fun and interesting conversations with other people. Okay, and so that's what's going to start to kind of like get your brain going and start to have actual experiences yourself right now, especially with the pandemic going on. You can't really, it's not as possible to start going out and talking to people and doing exposure challenges like this. What we can do is artificially place that in your mind, have a learned experience, and say, okay, I guess I just did this cold shower, I'm in it right now. It's actually amazing. Like, I can't tell you, I do cold shower every single morning. It makes me so happy. I don't know what it is. It's like the physical benefits of it. It makes you feel so alive and so happy and ready to just and start your day, right? But you're going to get that learned experience once you get out, and you're going to be like, okay, over the course of 30 days by doing it, I felt so much resistance beforehand, but once I do it, it's actually not that bad, and it's actually fun, and it's actually cool, and it's actually stuff that I want to do. Okay. So it's an exact parallel to social anxiety. And I think that's why it's so absolutely important. If you can be in a cold shower for 2 minutes, okay, with every cold drop hitting every ounce and every part of your naked body and feeling that tension, okay, you're going to be able to withhold tension more than 99% of the world. Okay, they're not doing this. They're not trying to put themselves into uncomfortable situations like this to make themselves feel more comfortable. I always talk about it. Okay, the enemy of the great is the good. The people who are already good at socializing, already good at communicating, already have things like given to them and shit like that. Okay, they're never going to be great because they have the mediocrity of feeling good right now. They haven't felt the pain that you felt on a daily basis that's going to exponentially make you grow and become a better person and a better version of yourself without social anxiety holding you back and being this barrier in your life anymore. All right, guys. So this video went way longer than I expected it to be, but that's the 5 tools I want you guys to begin doing. Okay, it's the cold showers. Okay, and when you're doing the cold shower, what I recommend is like starting it off with a cold shower, and then for 2 minutes, and then getting into the and then doing it warm and doing your business and shit like that, and then you can turn it to cold at the very end to close up your pores if you want to do that. Okay, so that's what I recommend for the cold showers. I definitely recommend starting to look at Wim Hof breathing. I want to do a video on it, but you can definitely look at him up on YouTube. Okay, his content's completely free. It's super cool. And there's just like read the comments, and you'll see the changes that's happened in people's lives because of it. And not even because they have social anxiety, just because the formula of it is so incredible with the breathing and the cold therapy included in that. Okay, so it's those two. Associating yourself as the third person, right? The 5-second rule, and living your life kind of like a movie. Like you've already accomplished your dreams. You've already accomplished what it is that you want. You've visualized it. You've seen it in the future. Now a film crew is just coming to kind of document it. All right, guys. So those are the 5 tools to really facing resistance, facing the avoidance when you have social anxiety, and starting to live a really fucking cool life. All right. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.